Talk to us about the 420 apple candy, and can we buy them online?
The 420 candy apples that I have gotten so many requests and messages for. Okay, so let me say that at first I was not a proponent of cannabis. I remember my brother smoking it when I was younger and getting him in trouble with my mom about it. Like, you shouldn't be doing that, but I was young and like, eh. But then when you get older, of course, you experiment with, different things. And I wasn't necessarily one of the ones that liked the smell of, burning cannabis or necessarily smoking, like what it does to your lungs. But I did, like the effect, and not just that, but I liked what it could do when I learned the medicinal properties of it. Like, it really, of course, there's a hallucinogenic to it, but there are so many healing properties to cannabis that people don't really like tap into. So when I have like people that really want, certain things, but don't want, that great effect of smoking it. So I was like, you know what? I do food. So let's see how we can actually transpose this to something that is artfully beautiful, but it would still give you that effect. So I started making like tinctures. So I would, take the cannabis and, steep it in like bourbon or honey, all these types of things that you can actually put in that's not just like a piece of candy. And I was making candy apples for someone. And I was like, you know what, I put in a candy apple flavoring in it. It was an oil. And I was like, I wonder if I actually mix this with that, what would it taste like? And I did it, and it was a dream. It was an absolute dream. And when you have it, the flavor it's not too potent, like the taste of it, because you're still getting that beautiful sour apple taste, but you're also getting that nice effect to where I kind of had to dial it down on it a little bit. Because you have to get the measurements just right. I'm not ashamed to say that first batch I was high for like 2 days. Like I was literally, I was like, okay, that's a little too much. And then once I got it right, it was like, okay. So weed is not actually legal to sell in Maryland without a medicinal card. So you have to kind of find like little workarounds with that. So it's not available online to purchase. But if you're in Baltimore and you know where to find me and you want a gift, I can give you a gift. My contact information is in, on the website and the IG. So if you're in Baltimore and you would like a present, I can gift it to you as a present until we can get the legalities to where I can actually start shipping it.
What's important, taste or presentation?
That's so rude to ask that question. It's like asking what's your favorite child. Okay. I would have to say taste, because that's what's going to bring me back.
Who was your inspiration?
That's depending on the era of my life. I would have to say that initially my mom is my inspiration, because she's the one that, introduced me to such different types of cuisine. I grew up in the inner city in Alabama. So we didn't necessarily have access to like things like sea urchin and escargot and, all these different exotic flavors. We were, from the South. So my mom made it a point to take us out often, in different cities. And I did actually have my first escargot at 10 years old in Texas, in San Antonio, actually. And so my mom, we would always have Christmas Eve at our family's house. Like, everybody knew to come to our house for Christmas Eve, because my mom was gonna give you a taste for your palate. Sometimes she did duck and quail and lamb and just these things that you were not gonna get from where we were from. And so she pushed me to think beyond what's in front of me and to broaden my my mind with things that are out there that you don't have access to. As far as my pastry inspiration, there are two people. One is Willy Wonka and one is Beyonce. So I like to say that I'm a mix of them both. I love the glamorousness of Beyonce. I love her work ethic and how she puts things together. I love her attention to detail. And I just love her spirit. But then I love Willy Wonka's adventure side. I love, the fact that nothing was off the table with him, and everything could be turned into something. So whenever I'm questioning whether something can work, I'm always thinking about that. I'm always thinking of how to get that childlike mind like Willy Wonka had to really try things that are not necessarily out there, because a lot of times when you become an adult, you lose that childlike essence of, could this be a thing? And so that's how innovation happens. My husband actually asked me, he said, could you put peanut butter and jelly in a pretzel rod? Do you think you could do that? Because that'd be dope. Like I'm like, wait, what? Why would I do that? And I'm like, could I make a peanut butter and jelly? Like, it's like that. So it's like, I love, creatives that just really go outside of the box in their thinking. And Willy Wonka is definitely that for me. So I love to draw from him.